Hey everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and today we're gonna kind of talk poll priority. And now this is gonna be mostly us going through these lists together and kind of figuring out what you should be saving for, what you shouldn't be saving for, kind of just hopefully trying to future-proof yourself. So, few things I want to look at right now. Currently, Hasna is the newest character, and these are projections over here on the right. This is basically what we are projecting the next characters will be. Homa has been confirmed, but besides that, we don't know for sure, but we're guessing here. And then this is, I have a couple different tier lists here. I have one here, one here. One's on the Sword of Convallaria .co, and then the other one is on I don't know, it's some Discord attachment that I opened up. But so I'm not sure who made this one. However, we're gonna try to use kind of both of them to kind of decide where characters are and how you should prioritize them. Also, the color here represents what they are, right? She is a guardian. You can see here she is a guardian. Darkness, seeker, that kind of stuff. Although I didn't know Rawia alt was going to be a seeker. Look how many seekers we got. We got Hasna. Well, is Homa a seeker? No, Homa is a breaker. Then we got Hasna, and we just got Sophia, and then we're gonna get Shakalulu and Rawia alt. I feel like that's a lot of seekers, but it's whatever. So let's take a look where each tier list puts Hasna, so we can kind of get an idea. I'm looking low because I assume most people don't like. I bet I could go like this. Control F. Hasna. She is currently, they're putting her in tier 2. Let's take a look at a couple other tier 2 characters. Layla, Garcia, Chia. So a lot of the characters that it looks like are coming out are going to be in tier 2. So what I'm inferring from tier 2 is like, okay, tier 0 is what I'm assuming insanely overpowered, good in every team and in all content. Tier 1, I'm assuming, is incredibly powerful in most content or completely broken in some content, even if they fall short in other types of content. So they're either going to be generically really good or super good in one specific thing, whereas these, I think, are just always going to be super good. In Tier 2, I think, is more when you get into, you're only going to want to use them in specific fights where they kind of can shine. And then below that, we're just starting to get into the Guzman territory for these guys, and then we don't respect them anymore. So currently Hasna is out. She's almost gone at this point. I would say Hasna, we've talked about her multiple times. She is not a must-pull character at all. She is very generic, not that particularly interesting. She's got the sexiest JPEG of all the characters. Who gives a shit? When you're using her in combat, you're looking at a pixelated version. Just go on, do Hasna on Google search, right click, save image as. You just got yourself a waifu. All right, write the numbers 60 out of 60 on her, put 3K power, boom, you got her built. Okay, that's all you need to do. She is very fun and I like her, and she is more powerful than I thought, but she's definitely not a must pull. Now, the real reason I wanted to look at this is because, in my opinion, Homa does seem like a must-pull. If we're taking a look here, well, let's actually take a look. Where's Hasna on this list? I assume we could look relatively low. But also, this one puts Garcia in tier 3 and versus the other one. It might take too long to look for each individual character because I can't control F search on this one. But somewhere, Hasna is going to be on here, and I bet it's a little bit lower. All right, you know what? I'm going to find it. Let's look. Hasna, top 23. Tier 2. So honestly, she is probably, she's in the same spot in both those lists. So there are going to be some things they agree on, some things they disagree on. But Homa here, if we take a look, Homa is considered tier 0 on this tier list. And on this one, let's take a look. She is a tier 0.5. And this one does put rankings on. Bonus points for having an aura. She doesn't have an aura. And then investment needed, basically how many stars do you need for her to be good? So I think the higher this number, actually the worst. And then PvE, which is the important thing. PvP, I think, is completely who gives a shit. It doesn't matter at all until they add better support for it. And then early PvE. So really the only number you care about is this 8.7, I think, the late game PvE for most players. So they're putting her at 0.5, and she is tier 0 here. I just did a video with her, and to me, she seems kind of actually super busted. Super, super powerful. Incredibly synergistic with Inanna. So here's the character she's really synergistic with. Inanna, August. Those are two of her probably biggest synergy characters. Act Again, and a character that has built-in Act Again because they get to proc a lot more of her trait. And so these are other tier 0 characters. So she's a very powerful character that synergizes very well with other very powerful characters. So I'm going to say that she is a must pull. And that doesn't mean your account is bricked if you don't get her. I mean, it is a reasonable decision to spend your currency to attempt to get her. If you don't get her, you're fine. You're just going to keep moving on, but you would like to get her. And so this is where, all right, a must pull. When I say that, I mean, spend your currency to attempt to get her. Now, if we're looking at the other characters that come out, now we're not going to go into their kits because I'm not that interested, but I mean, I'll be interested when they come out, but not yet. Karis, she's like the next really hot girl. This game is the only game that makes the hot girls kind of weak. But if we take a look at Karis, I bet she is, this puts her at tier 1, and they actually put her at pretty good at PvE. And then this one puts her like tier 2. So I don't know exactly what the difference is here, but this is clearly, I think anything in tier 2, you're going to want to say is not a must pull. So if we kind of look at a lot of the stuff coming up, like Shakalulu, SCH, Shakalulu is going down to tier 3. Rawia alt, I believe we all get, actually. This is the one I'm a little confused on. I think we all get a copy of her, but then I think she'll be a pull as well. I hope she's not just a pull. I thought she was a free-to-play unit. So you could actually come to this website and take a look at their stuff as well. So that'll be kind of fun. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe she's purely a pull unit, but it'd be so lame for everyone to get Rawia for free, and then her alt version is totally different. They added a second Sophia as well. What a lame ass character. But she's tier 1, but I think we get her for free. But Pamina, like if we just take a look here, Pamina down here in tier 2. Agata, I don't think that's going to be her name. Agatha, she is considered tier 1 on this list, but I actually think she's quite a bit lower on this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Agatha, they just put her, like, she's not that she seems like she's really strong at anything. She actually seems bad at PvP. I think she's just kind of maybe a lower investment. I don't know. She just, to me, she doesn't even seem that good. But when you fight against her, she does seem pretty strong. But this, I would say, is a cool character, but not a must pull. Then you get to Tyre, right? This character is up here, tier 0. On this list, he is considered the second best character in the game. It says you need a lot of investment needed, I suppose. I assume that this means they want you to be a high investment. I don't fully understand how this list works. But look at this. They're giving him a 10. They had to break the scale in order for Tristan to work on PvP. But Tyre is getting a 10 for PvP, a 9.85 out of 10 for late PvE. And look, they're comparing her to Anana. And Anana is clearly like just one of the best characters in the game for PvE. She's also really good in PvP. But also, yeah. So this is going to be one of the strongest characters in the game. Everyone says this character is busted. So here's the thing. This character, I think, is a must pull. And then I think you just kind of skip every single one of these characters until Tyre comes out. And then I think this is going to be where you're going to need to make a personal decision. If you're a free-to-play or light spender and you're not going to be able to get every character, do you want Tyre or do you want Tristan? If they actually are back-to-back and they're the two strongest characters in the game, you kind of have to decide what you're going to do. It seems like Tyre is irreplaceable for making a ton of different teams interesting and fun teams work with a lot of different strategies and PvP stuff, or sorry, PvE stuff. Whereas Tristan feels like he is more of a PvP powerhouse that's just good everywhere in general, but also is mostly going to be a PvP powerhouse. And if we come here, I don't even think they put Tristan in tier 0 on this one. I think they put him down in, let's take a look where they put him. Tristan is all the way down in tier 2 on this tier list. So this is one of the big ones where one tier list has Tristan as literally the strongest character in the game. The other one has him down at tier 3. So this is one where I'm probably going to be skipping Tristan. Tyre seems like I'm going to invest all my currency from December and January into, I'm going to invest all my currency up until Homa leaves into Homa. And the second Homa leaves, I'm not going to spend any currency until I get to Tyre, and then I'm going to pull on him. Right now, I have all these characters. I have actually every character that they've released in the game so far. And so this will be the first time I don't have characters, which will be kind of suck, but there's no sponsored content, no content creator program, no nothing, just a boy and his dream. So that's all we're doing here. Now, after this, I think that I would start saving. Like, these are cool cool videos. or sorry, cool characters. I can tell I'm getting ahead of myself here. You know, with like Layla, tier 2. Again, I don't know what their kits are. We'll get more into it when we actually get there. But let's go Safia. They put her in tier 1. So she's a tier 0 and a tier 1. So I bet she could be worth pulling. But right after getting drained, I think you're going to want to save for something even better at this point. And then the key KI, well, I don't even know. She's not showing up on this one. Let's do KV. Tier 1, probably again another good character. But even in the tier 1 categories, if you look what's here, like, you have a lot of this shit already. And Luvita is actually the one that most people I think are going to want to pull, because this is a sexy flame sorceress. I personally think her design is a little bit stupid, but I mean, I'm just not into magic girls, I guess. But she does kind of look like a grown-up barrel, and she does have a interesting thing. She is a fire mage, but she's also a breaker. So she's going to be one of the first like magic-based breakers that I can think of. I actually don't know if there are any magic-based breakers, so this could add a quite. And plus, she's using a staff as a breaker too. Like, that's pretty interesting. Estra, I don't think there is an Estra currently on this list. I wonder if we take a look over here, just really quick. Let's take a look at some of the ones that I was talking about. So Tyre and Tristan are up here, obviously. They are putting Layla, which pretty high actually on this list. They're putting her mostly for PvP, though, as you can see. Again, they're ranking a bunch of things, but I don't think that's, like, super interesting. Yeah, the 5 points, I assume this is actually the higher the number. It means the less amount of investment you need. So if you have 4.93, it means you need very little investment, because if that's adding to the total, you want less investment for the character to be good. And then, where's Luvia here? Oh, they have her kind of low, I think, right? But again, I don't like the way this list is structured necessarily, but it is still useful. She might not even be on this one. She might be too new of a character to have made it onto this list. Yeah, because I don't even see Sophia alt. No, I do see alt Sophia, duh, but that might be the newest one they added here. Yeah, so I'm going to say here, when Homa comes out, I'm going to drain all my resources. It's literally like 30 pulls. That's all I got. I used to have a bunch. I got Leonide in a single, or in 3 singles. I got a Gust in like on the 50-50, and I got Hasna in a single multi. So I'm not going to get Homa. I've completely burnt all of my luck. That's all there is to it. But I'm going to try to get Homa, and then I'm going to save all the way up through until Tyre comes out, which is going to be 2 months of saving. Hopefully, they add some real content into the game that we'll really be able to have fun with in that time and get some extra resources. Rawia alt, I hope we get 1 copy for free, and then you pull to get additional copies of her. I could be wrong. I don't know why. It just taking the same character that everyone in the whole game got for free, making a better version of her, and then charging us for it. I hate that. I think all Rawias, if they make more of her, should be free, because she is like the main character of our playthroughs, right? You get Phycal, Mytha, and Rawia. Rawia is the good one. Mytha is fine, Phycal is fine, but Rawia is like actually really good, you know? So I hope that stays free. But yeah, that's basically the poll. And then after this, I'm personally going to save. I might try to pull Luvita, because I think she's going to be interesting enough. But if any of these characters have really crazy kits that I think are a super fun style of play, I will throw like 1 or 2 multis, probably 1 multi on each of them. Because if let's say I really wanted Layla, but I miss her, and I'm like, all right, well, I still want Safia alt. So like I throw a 10 pull here. I don't get it. My pity is still advancing. And then maybe I get to pull her here. And if I don't get it, then I'm probably going to skip. Then maybe I'll pull here and then pull here. And eventually I'll get a character that I want again. But I think that's kind of going to be the pull priority. But really, yeah, I think pretty much everyone's going to be trying to get Homa. She is a very cool character, kind of, but she's mostly just very powerful at the very least. Also, why does Coco look so different on this tier list? I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you very much. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye!